Hello everybody and welcome to the Mind of Iggy. Just walking here in my backyard. I'm home from work. Gonna chill and relax. See, the dogs can hear me. But I wanted to take a moment just about some things on my mind. Having conversation with different people today throughout the day. Sharing and talking about life, and I'm gonna go to my meditation chair here, my relaxation chair, my hanging chair. This is my thinking hanging chair, and that's all my spearmint mint, my garden back there, wormwood, and the rest of my yard, my garden, my medicine wheel garden. Sitting here, just thinking about stuff. If the phone goes off, I apologize. I'm just trying to get myself comfortable here. Get myself situated. So, today I was, just talking with my cousin, talking with my friend Don, my friend Anne-Marie, with Kate, and a few other friends here and there popping in and saying hi. And it was this theme about our conversations and what we were going through and the things that we're experiencing through life. And this is something, you've heard this before. What I'm going to tell you is nothing new. Probably just a reminder about it. And so I was thinking, and my friend the other day mentioned it too. It's been playing out a lot in my conversations here with other people. And it's about the versions of ourselves, the different versions of us, the incarnation of this vessel, this body, this spirit, this soul. Now, I don't know where your belief systems are. I don't know how you feel about certain things, but there are people who believe in reincarnation. They believe that they come back and they take another vessel, and if that vessel does its due diligence, its duty, it's working through its cause and effect or karma, whatever you want to call it, and it comes back and regenerates and does what it needs to do. The interesting part, when I mentioned to my friend Don today when I was talking to her, I said, there's only one version of Iggy Garcia in this timeline right now, as I exist, So if I come back and reincarnate, it'll be another version of myself, another person, another human being, completely different person. So everything that I know about me, how I know it, is now. And so the different versions also in my life, as the child, as the teenager, as the young adult, as, a 30, 40, 50-year-old man, those are all different people. Those are all different lifetimes. Those are all different scenarios, different events, different experiences, different journeys. Even though we carry the memories and all the things that we did, and we're still carry those traumas and those feelings, those emotions, those happiness, everything. I'm not that same person. None of us are. But yet we seem to judge people according to what they did as they were younger or as they were different people. Now, some people continue with the behavior and they keep doing the same thing. Well, that's probably why they get judged. But there's a lot of us who've matured and a lot of us who've grown and become different versions of ourselves, and are much better now than we were back then. We had a lot of learning to do. We had a lot of exploring to do. We had a lot of falling down and failing to do. But, we talked about how we miss certain people in our lives and, how they brought the playfulness out of us. And, and I was just, and what I said to her was just, it's time to find a new playmate. Time to find somebody else to explore with, someone else to share with, somebody else to, carry, your story with and move on. There are some people that in your lives that touch your heart, and you know what? They touch it in a way that you just can't replace them. And those people are irreplaceable. And those people may still be in your life, and those people may not be in your life, but regardless, if they're not there, they're not there. It was a moment in time, a specific journey, a specific walk that you had to take with somebody. And it doesn't mean that they don't love you, they don't care about you. And sometimes maybe they've transitioned, and maybe they just have to be where they need to be. But it doesn't mean you can't stop playing, you can't stop enjoying life, you can't stop being part of the collective energy working through stuff. But it's fine how our existence completely changes. I'm not the same person from yesterday. I'm not the same person from 24 hours ago, 12 hours ago. I have new experiences, new things that have come into my spirit, my soul, just becoming, even talking on this show right now, talking on my podcast here. Right now, there's new things that have happened between now and from when I left the house. They either empower me or disempower me or stay neutral or they break me down. But it's cool though, because it's interesting, because 15-year-old me is still resides inside me, but it's not the same. It's different now. Now I'm 55-year-old me. And you know what? I'm not even the same human being that I started out with. Every 7 years, our body replaces almost all the cells in our body, regenerating, recopying, reconstituting, structuring. So the person that I came into this planet, as I came out of my mother, out of the womb, those cells are gone. In the sense of the original cells, except for maybe, pieces and parts of me that I may not be aware of, physically and genetically, that I might be missing something. But to my knowledge, we've changed completely. My hair follicles, everything's different. I look different. I can look at a picture from last year, I look different. And I find that very fascinating. I find that very interesting, that even though the body structure has changed, the spirit and the soul still remains. It's kind of like your car, you buy it brand new, and over time, little by little, things start to change on it. Now, the analogy is going to be a little bit more coarse, more crass, because cars rust, cars break down, they go through things, just kind of like us. Kind of like the story, that story. So when, I'm looking at my truck, and it had some issues last week, or the week before last, but I had to address them, right? And if I don't address them, it causes complications and more problems. Same with our spirit and our soul. If we don't address certain things, it complicates and compromises us. But also, we address things, we also help our spirit and our soul, because we activated those points inside of our body, inside of our mind, to protect ourselves, to honor ourselves. Because honoring ourselves first. And see, we've been taught, we've been raised that, it's all about me. But you know what? We have to take care of us as well as we want to help others. Because if we take care of us, we can help others even better. Because through helping others, we also find ourselves. So there is that piece that, by volunteering and helping, we can create new bonds and new connections with people. But the version of Iggy Garcia will never be ever again. When I transition and leave this planet one day, when it's my time, there will only be that person, and the memories and the recordings and the pictures and the memories that people hold of me, my children, my grandchildren, and that's pretty much it. Because if I was here to ask you guys if you remember anything about your great-grandmother, great-grandfather, your great-great-great-grandfathers, they would only be tidbit stories of situations that they experienced. Because if you think about it, just think about the things you forget from one week to the next. And we always try to remember the most positive things about people too. And so the stories of our ancestors sometimes can become diluted or can become concentrated to the point where it's just one way or not that way. So we want to paint our ancestors in a great light and a great picture. And sometimes that great picture and that great light isn't that way. But I'm here to share that, not to be afraid, not to be scared, that, that when our time is up, when our time comes, that you'll be forgotten. You won't be forgotten. You will return, you will come back. And usually energy falls intense, so you will find the energies that are structured like you. So you will find another version of humanity, and you will flourish through that. Because our energy doesn't die. And then sometimes our energy just reconstituted into the atmosphere, into the trees, into the earth, and we're moving through cycles. Some of you believe in heaven and hell, and you know, maybe that's reality for you, but for me, that's not reality. I don't believe that a creator would create such disharmony amongst men, to create disharmony against women, children, and lost animals and stuff. But that's for another show. So I'm here to share that the version that we see of ourselves in the mirror is also the opposite version of ourselves. Because how we see ourselves in the mirror is not how other people see us. Right becomes left, left becomes right. You know, when you look in the mirror, this is my right, okay? To you, I'm pointing, it looks left. And so this is perceive my right. So this is my left side. This is my right side. If I was to flip the camera, I would look completely different to myself. And it's kind of spooky. But when I look at myself, this is how I think I see myself. And I see myself through this camera. But it's not that way. It's because I'm projecting outwardly to you an image of myself. So how we see ourselves sometimes is not the way we truly see ourselves. And how we feel about ourselves isn't always how we feel about ourselves. The emotions and feelings sometimes about ourselves is not true. People can project onto us a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, how they feel about you, that where you take ownership of that and you start to own that and believe that. And this is what happens to a lot of people sometimes. They start to believe the stories that other people tell about them. Well, I'm here to tell you, rewrite your story. Share your story. You don't have to buy into anybody's story. You know, you are one person, one version that will always be always remembered by the creation. If nobody else remembers you, creation will always remember you. Always, because of the contributions that you made. Only you know the contributions, and creation knows the contributions. When you planted a tree, when you planted a plant, when you adopted a dog, when you helped someone cross the street, creation remembers. Creation is a living thing. Mother Earth is a living thing. Pachamama, Mapacha, Sky Father, Earth Mother. They're all part of us. So the day that we leave this planet is because our destiny has arrived to that moment in time. But don't fear it, friends. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. But remember, there's only one version of you, and that's amazing. And that's something that we have to really, really think about. That's pretty amazing. Now, there are some things in between that kind of get in the way, that causes us to distort our belief about ourselves in our feelings and our emotions, but those are things that we can work through. But it takes work. It takes time. There's no cheat in the process in that. But that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys, just to, you know, be just be you. Be the best version of you. And if people can't handle the best version of you, that's really on them. It's not really on you. You know, there's pieces and parts of us who are always struggling to, you know, be acknowledged. Pieces and parts of us that want to share with other people. And, you know, some people, they believe the hype. They grow up. They grow up and they become grumpy and they become bitter and upset because they feel like they've gotten cheated out of something. It's not that they got cheated out of it. They just forgot to learn how to play. They forgot to learn how to laugh. They forgot to learn how to play the drum, ride a bike. Bills came. Marriage came. Relationship came. If you didn't have a good foundation to begin with, how are you going to have a good foundation later? Because you have to work through it, and you have to learn how to create a better foundation for yourself. You know? We're only as good as the people who were before us. So we should strive to be better. Not arrogant, but better. Arrogance can be one of those things that can get in the way if we're not careful. So people will rub you the wrong way. People will piss you off. People will upset you. How long you stay in that energy is up to you. How long you want to allow somebody else to disempower you. People can disempower you very quickly. You know, take your power away from you for a short moment. And then you're like stuck in, whoa, man, that person really messed me up. Take control of your life the best you can. Now that sounds easy, and I'm over here saying it. But I'm here to also remind you, just do your best. Do your best. Just do your best being you and sharing you with the world. Is the world ready for you? I don't know. We'll see. Do you want the world to see you? I don't know. Well, we'll see. And if you don't want to share yourself with the world, it doesn't really matter, because you share yourself with the world every single day. Even if you're not engaged in this in the ways you think. Entertaining and, showing off isn't it. Showing yourself to the world. The world sees you how you project outwardly to it. You help people, you're a quiet storm in the background. People remember that. If you're loudmouth like me, people remember that. I'm not that loud. Am I that loud? Oh, anyways. But the point is, just be the best version of yourself each day. Because there's only one version of you. One version that can change the world. I'm a firm believer that one human being can change all humanity, the way humanity runs and works. Why? Because it's happened throughout time. And a lot of the times, it's in a negative connotation, negative way. But there's always people who come back and they gather. One person connects with another person and another person, another person. We're just like dropping a pebble in the ocean, becomes a ripple, but it also becomes part of the ocean. So we are part of a huge ocean of feelings, emotions, and peoples, and life. It's just really cool to think about. It's really deep. All right, guys, be well. Take care. I will see you soon. Enjoy your rest of your week. Beautiful weather out here. I know it's raining on the west side of town, a little bit east side of town. Here in Columbus, we're here in Central Ohio, right here in Columbus, where I'm at, near Dublin. It's bone dry, and I'm sure that'll change after an hour. But just keep being you. Keep processing. Keep working. I know it's not easy being you, but only you can make those decisions to change your life. And I know it's not easy. It's not hard. Find the tools. Find the people. Connect with friends. Make new friends. And the friends that you let go, just keep moving. Keep moving, because they're moving. Once you cut someone off, they pretty much keep moving. All right. Peace and love, guys. Take care. It's good to be here. Ho'oponopono matakuyasin. What is above is below, and what is in the flow keeps flowing. All right. Take care. Be well. Irisikwi. Aho.